Have you ever heard words so cruel they replay in your head forever? Daniel and I had been trying for a baby for 2 years. 2 whole years of ovulation tests, fertility clinics, and doctors telling us to just keep trying. I tracked my cycle like it was my job. Daniel would bring me prenatal vitamins every morning with my coffee, and we'd talk about baby names over dinner. When I finally got pregnant, we both cried in the kitchen. I was holding that plastic test with shaking hands, and Daniel kept saying, "Really? Really?" Like he couldn't believe it. We called our parents that same night. My mom started crying on the phone. His dad made some joke about becoming a grandpa. I bought tiny yellow socks the next week, gender neutral just in case. I'd hold them sometimes when Daniel wasn't looking, imagining our baby wearing them. We started looking at cribs online. Daniel cleared out his home office to make space for a nursery. At 11 weeks, I woke up bleeding, heavy bleeding that soaked through everything. The cramping was so bad, I couldn't stand up straight. Daniel drove me to the emergency room at 3 in the morning, running red light, his hands gripping the steering wheel. The doctor did an ultrasound and didn't say anything for a long time, just kept moving that cold wand around my stomach, frowning at the screen. When she finally spoke, her voice was gentle, but final. There was no heartbeat. The baby had stopped growing a week ago. I couldn't process it. Daniel held my hand while the doctor explained the procedure. What would happen next? How long recovery would take? I just stared at the ceiling and felt empty inside. I didn't get out of bed for 4 days after we got home. Daniel brought me soup I didn't eat, water I barely touched. I'd wake up forgetting for just a second, then remember, all over again. Those yellow socks were still in the drawer. I couldn't bring myself to put them away. Daniel was patient at first. He'd sit on the edge of the bed and rub my back. He'd tell me it wasn't my fault that these things happen, that we'd try again when I was ready. But after a week, I could see him getting frustrated. He'd sigh when I didn't get dressed. He'd leave dirty dishes in the sink longer than usual. 2 weeks after the miscarriage, we had our first real fight. It started over something stupid. I'd forgotten to pay the electric bill. Daniel came home from work, and the power was out. He was trying to heat up leftovers on the gas stove when I finally came downstairs. The electric bill was due last Tuesday, he said. Without looking at me, I felt this flash of anger, the first emotion I'd felt in weeks that wasn't just sadness. I forgot. I'll call them tomorrow. You forget everything now. You forgot to pick up my prescription. You forgot we had dinner plans with your sister. You forgot to put gas in the car, and I almost got stranded yesterday. My voice got louder. I'm sorry I'm not perfect right now, Daniel. I'm sorry I'm not handling this the way you want me to. He slammed the pot down on the counter. The noise echoed through our dark kitchen. You're not handling it at all. You're just laying in bed feeling sorry for yourself, while I have to deal with everything, feeling sorry for myself. I was shouting now. I lost a baby! We lost a baby! How am I supposed to just go back to normal? That's when he turned around and looked at me with this cold expression I'd never seen before. His voice was calm and measured, which somehow made it worse. You know what? Maybe you deserve to lose that baby. Maybe then you finally learn how to appreciate what you actually have instead of wallowing all the time. The words hit me like a physical blow. I actually stepped backward, bumping into the kitchen island. I felt like I couldn't breathe, like all the air had been sucked out of the room. Daniel's face changed immediately. He realized what he'd said. Sophie? I didn't mean... But I was already backing away from him, shaking my head. Don't you dare tell me you didn't mean it. I ran upstairs and locked our bedroom door. I could hear him pacing in the hallway, trying to explain himself through the door. You know I didn't mean that. I was just angry. Sophie, please. I sat on our bed holding those yellow socks and cried until I had nothing left. The man I'd loved for 5 years, who'd held my hand through doctor appointments and fertility treatments, had just told me I deserved to lose our baby. The next morning, I packed a bag while Daniel was at work. I called my parents, and they drove 3 hours to get me. When Daniel came home to an empty house, I was already sitting in my childhood bedroom staring at the wall. He called 17 times that first night. I didn't answer. He sent texts saying he was sorry, that he was distressed, that he didn't know how to help me, and said something horrible. But I kept hearing those words over and over. Maybe you deserve to lose that baby. I filed for divorce the next month.